Which doesn't belong and why? Let's begin with quarterback-needy teams that have a top 10 pick. Panthers at 6, Falcons at 8, Seahawks at 9. Which doesn't belong and why?
Well, I don't think any of them belong. That's what I want to say, really. I don't think any of them are taking a quarterback in the top 10. I don't think the way it looks right now, and I understand with this class, Matt Corral to me is the only guy that's got the talent to go, I would, maybe do that. Take him in top 10. That's for me. But the way, reading the tea leaves, the NFL, the quarterback, the, incompleteness as far as, Corral's got all this talent. There's a few, I think, off the field things like we talked about. He's still got some things you'd like to improve on the field. Malik Willis, you see some big-time talent, but it's very raw. Kenny Pickett, like we talked about, it's like, okay, there's no wow factor at all. I don't think a quarterback's going in the top 10. I don't think any of these teams will take one in the top 10. But if you're going to ask me which one doesn't belong and why, I'm going to go with the Falcons just because I think they're sold on their quarterback at least for this year. That's why I think they have a real affection for Marcus Mariota, and there's a relationship there with Arthur Smith and him to where he knows what he's going to get, and I think they're content with him being the starter. Doesn't mean they might not get a quarterback at some point in the draft, but I think they're content with him being the starter. The other two teams I look at, I think they're both going, wait, are we really going to start the guy that we got on our roster right now? So that's why I picked the Falcons.
I think all three teams fall into that category. I'd say the Seahawks don't belong because they're the team that seems to be on Baker Mayfield's radar, so they don't have to try to reach and overdraft a quarterback if they have interest in Baker Mayfield. Let's go with teams with 2 top 15 picks. Texans have number 3 and number 13. Jets have number 4 and 10. Giants have number 5 and 7. Which doesn't belong and why?
You're on this one. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Did I skip one?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I skipped one.
It's okay.
I'll
All
go
good.
back.
All good.
Sorry.
Okay. So teams with with 2 top 15 picks. I mean, man, I don't even know how to justify which doesn't belong here and why. I mean, I guess the only team, the team I'll look at here is the Texans. I'll throw out there. Just as far as have no idea where they're going to go, and one of their picks are outside, the top 10. A little flexibility there. I'm interested, I think, in them just because of, pick number 3. Where is that going to go? They have a lot of holes on their football team. But the Jets, the Giants, they're sitting pretty in great spots. The Texans are as well. I don't know. That was not the best answer in the world. I lost my train of thought a little bit when you skipped one. Sorry.
Well, sorry. And I apologize.
Nah, you're all good.
Error.
I don't give a damn.
The Giants don't belong for me because they actually can be a contender this year. They could go out and get impact players with 5 and 7 that make the team better. They've got a new GM. They've got a new coach. They're in a bad division. They're in the conference that's been watered down by defections to the AFC. The Jets and the Texans have no chance this year. And watch, one of them is going to end up making it to the playoffs as I say that. But the Giants at least have a chance. The Giants aren't that far off. And if you get at 5 and 7 an offensive lineman who can come in and play well and a defensive lineman who can come in and play well, you're on the path to making that team better. The challenge is using wisely at 5 and 7, and maybe they get a chance to trade out of one of those spots and get more lottery tickets. I would always do that if I could. I just think the Giants don't belong because they're actually in position to make some noise this year. The other two teams are not. Now back to the one that I skipped earlier. Quarterback curious teams picking later in round 1. The Saints, 16 and 19. Steelers at 20. The Lions at 2, but also at 32, which doesn't belong and why?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm still so intrigued with the Saints and what they're doing. I really am, and why they did it. I think they can fill position needs, but I also am going, well, man, the more I look and tinker, because I got to do my mock draft for next week and stuff like that, where I start to look and go, wait, there's a possibility that actually there could be whatever quarterback they want on the board there at 16. But for the sake of this exercise here, I'm going to pick the Detroit Lions here. And the fact that why they don't belong and why, well, because of the 2 picks and where they are at 2 and 32, I think that makes them very interesting. I don't expect any quarterback going at 2 for sure. We know that. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded down. But the reason I'll pick them too is there's some flexibility for them to do some stuff at the end of the first round, and of course the early second. But they have pick 32 and pick 34. So if a quarterback they like's on the board at 24 or 25 and they deem that value necessary, they're going to be able to make a play there at the end of the first round and get the guy they want. So that's why I'll throw the Lions as my choice.
I'm going to say the Steelers don't belong because there's something about the Steelers. I made the comment, and it was inaccurate earlier in this month or this draft cycle, that the Steelers will keep their cards close to the vest. They really don't. They don't sweat it. Like, they don't really go great extremes to hide it.
Remember?
Last year, everybody knew they were taking Najee Harris.
Right.
Everybody knew they were taking Najee Harris.
Right.
And they took Najee Harris.
Yes.
And,
there's other instances of that too. Yeah.
And now you have guys like Ed Bouchette, who has covered the Steelers for years, saying that they have settled on Malik Willis, and I have no reason to doubt that they have settled on Malik Willis. And you know what? If they get him, they get him. If they don't, they don't. They're not going to sweat it. And I think that if they really do like him, they won't hesitate to trade up like they did 3 years ago from 20 to 10 to get Devin Bush. So the Steelers strike me as a team that doesn't freak out about the draft. They have a plan, they stick to it, and whatever it is, we'll find out. But it's not like they're big into curveballs and misdirections. They're very, very pragmatic about their approach. And when I hear reports that they are interested in Malik Willis, that's not a smokescreen. That's reality.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.